Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Season 3, Episode 4, The Croaking. I love the episode. It's great to actually freaking have the show back. I hate the scheduling for this thing with just. I think the last one was a month ago, the last episode. And we got the first 3 episodes of this season, along with the last 2 episodes of Season 2. And before that, we had, I believe, like a month and a half or something of just empty space between the last episodes of Season 2. So it's good to have the show back. I'm hoping that it stays on every week. I know at some point it's going to go off for like another 2 weeks again because that's just how the show has been since the very beginning. And if any of you guys know why that is, please tell me so I can have some sort of understanding because as far as I know, it's just sporadic. It's just we get episodes, then it's off for like a month at random, and then it comes right back. Like I don't know what it is, but they have the episodes like it's the preview episodes, and maybe it's just that they don't have the episodes finished or something like that, so they stop and then kind of stockpile them or whatever. But it's just crazy dealing with the sporadic nature of how they put the episodes out, and it's made worse by the fact that I do love the show because it's a great incarnation of the Ninja Turtles. But I enjoyed this episode. It was a cool one. We got to see the mutated frogs, which I do believe are from the comic books, and in this we had like a really silly version of them. I don't really know how they are in the comic books, but I'm assuming they're like 1,000% more dramatic in the comics because everything is in the Ninja Turtle comic books. It's actually very, very serious in there. But I enjoyed him in this. We actually got like flat out Napoleon as a frog, Napoleon Dynamite as a frog. They got, I believe his name is John Heder. I believe that's his name. I can't really remember, but he does the voice, and of course they give him like an actual dance number. They make him say "gosh" a couple of times, so it was kind of funny to see that. And we got like Attila, Genghis, and then like the big. He's basically like the mob boss of the frogs, and I enjoyed him. And it was a weird, sort of like deforestation type of message in like the middle of the episode or towards the end, I guess, when the leader was talking about how humans came in and destroyed the forest and stuff, and he was like crying and things like that. And it's like it's like a weird deforestation thing, like we come in and destroy the forest, which we do. That's something that we as humans do. We destroy forests, and the creatures within the forest have a smaller area to live in, and it kind of drove him as well as his other frogs to want to go against humans, and they destroyed some of the different locations, some of these little campsites. They were, of course, going in to get Casey and April because they thought they were holding the rest of the turtles. And that was a cool fight scene. They went in and they kind of really beat up the turtles, and but especially by the end of that fight, they were kind of just beating them like they were a gang or something, because they had the things, and it looked like it was just concrete on some pipes, like they just pulled it off of a wall or something. And they were in there, and I love the part when they actually got launched into the house and they like basically just blew through the wall. That looked really cool, but overall that was a pretty sweet fight, and the way they kidnapped Casey and April was pretty cool, and they kind of just sucked them right out the house, and they were just beating on the turtles like they had just had baseball bats or something. They were just like beating them over the over the shell. I'm like, man, they're just destroying these guys. So that was kind of funny. But by then, of course, the turtles come back. That was a really cool fight scene. I think my favorite part was Leo running through the trees, and he was like throwing the smoke bombs and stuff. That looked really cool to me. And that was one thing I noticed about this episode. Leo was in really good shape. They still note that he's not in perfect condition yet because there was the part when after he's running through the trees and he gets kicked in the stomach by the one frog, he basically reverses it on that frog. But when he stands up, he still has to like hold his knee and like push himself up. So it was kind of cool that they noted that like he's not in perfect condition just yet, but he is in really good fighting condition. So I think they're gonna bring that up in another episode where he'll be like the last one, and it'll be like, okay, I'm in really great condition, but there's still like this one thing that I just cannot do because I'm not at 100% capacity yet. So it was a little thing that they noted, but I enjoyed the episode. You know, by the end, the frogs kind of just take off. They're going down to Louisiana, and they tease that somebody's about to get transformed again. We haven't seen a human transformed by the mutagen in this season, so we're gonna get that pretty soon, I have to assume, unless it's gonna be somehow the entire car mutates with some creature and it's like a hybrid car creature type thing, which would be really weird and interesting. And that could just be the case with the human inside the car. They actually turn into the car, which we've never seen, as far as I can remember. We haven't seen anyone turn into anything mechanical, because typically it's like, oh, I got hit with mutagen, and then there's a plant, or there are rats or squirrels or something like that. So that's how it's been the entire time. We haven't actually seen anyone get affected by it where they just were near a lot of technology. So that might be what they're teasing, that it can happen with something that's not exactly organic. So I'm excited to see how that plays out, if that it really is the case and it's like a weird transformer type of thing. I don't know how it's gonna play out, but I'm excited to see that. I'm really excited that we just have the show back, and I'm hoping that we actually do get an episode next week. I didn't see it on when it actually premiered on Nickelodeon, so I saw it online. But I am hoping we actually get an episode next week. But I'm excited the show's back. It feels like it's been forever, like it does every time. But I enjoyed this one. I I know we're only in episode 4, but I really want them to get back to New York City, and I know we won't get that for a while. For one, because things are spread out so oddly, and two, it's so early on in the season. But with the time we've had, I think it's been like an actual month. We could have been like 4 episodes into the season, or 4 more episodes into the season, and who knows? They probably will be back in New York 4 episodes from now, or at least thinking about it. And that's what I really want to see, because right now it's just kind of one-off episodes. And the best one so far was without a doubt the one that had to do with April's mother, and they had it where they found the crane ship under the house, because that gave us a lot of really cool information about April's family, and how the crane basically just experimented on generation after generation of O'Neills. And that was just a great episode. It involved the crane. They didn't, of course, go to New York, but it involved the crane, which is a big component of the Ninja Turtles franchise. And other than that, they've just been in the forest. And I really enjoyed the very first one they had, where the mutagen kind of transformed the plane into like a weird sort of Jason type thing, like it was Friday the 13th. I enjoyed that because it was just really cool and how it was capturing the rest of the turtles. But the best one so far was Buried Secrets, because they gave us some information, and I'm hoping we get a lot more episodes like that, because we're only in episode 4, but with the way they spread this stuff out, I feel like it just makes me want the really big episodes way more, because we have to wait way longer. But I enjoyed the episode. Of course, comment below, let me know what you guys thought about it, favorite parts, least favorite parts. And we're only 4 episodes in, but because things are just so oddly spread out, I might as well just ask now, because I don't really know when we're gonna get another episode. But what's your favorite episode this season so far? I know there are hardly any choices, but what's your favorite one so far? And also, are you guys, I guess, just as upset about the sort of scheduling that they have for the show as I am? Or are you guys not really bothered by it? Does it really not matter to you whether or not the show comes on every single week? Or if they kind of do the weird month later type stuff and it's just randomly back on? Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.